An example of the product rule and quotient rule using the graph. So a couple things to note ahead of time. The derivative, remember, is the slope at a given point. Since these are piecewise functions that are lines, we can easily find their slopes. So in this problem, we're going to need to know the slope of f at 1, which is the slope of this line at 1. And we're going to need to know the slope of g at 1. So we see that at that point right there for g, that the slope of the line down 1 over 1 is -1. So let's just record some of that information. So g prime of 1 is equal to -1. If we look at f at 1, we see that the slope at that point is, we go up 2 over 1 is +2. So f prime of 1 is +2. We're also going to need these derivatives and slopes at 5. So if we come over here to f at 5, we see that at that point, the slope of the line down 1 over 2 is -2. So f prime of 5 is -2. And similarly, if we look at g at that point, at 5, let's see, we're going to need a bigger, coming down here, if we start at this point right here and go up, oops, let's undo that. Sorry. We go up 2 over 3. So at 5, g prime of 5 is 3/2. Okay, so let's now look at each one of these problems separately. So if we do the u of x, which is f times g, u prime of x is f prime g plus f g prime. And if we plug in 1 to find u prime of 1, it's f prime of 1, g of 1, plus f of 1, g prime of 1. Now we just use our chart. So we already found that f prime of 1 was 2, and we found g prime of 1 was -1. We now need to use the graph to figure out what g of 1 and f of 1 are separately. So f of 1 is the pink here, which is right there, which is 2. So f of 1 is 2. G of 1 at 1 is 1. So we have 2 times 1 plus 2 times -1. So our final answer is 0. All right, for B, it's the quotient. So V is the quotient of f and g. So V prime is equal to f prime g minus fg prime all over g squared. And so again, we need to plug in our values. So V prime of 5 is f prime of 5, g of 5, minus f of 5, g prime of 5, all over g of 5 squared. So we have the slopes and the derivatives. So let's now figure out the value of f and g at 5. So g of 5 is 2, right here. See that? And f of 5 is 3. So we come over here and we plug in. We get f prime of 5 is -2. G of 5 is 2. Minus f of 5, which is 3. Times g prime of 5, which is 3/2. All over g of 5, which is 2 squared. That's it.